So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly go through the key, I guess, task words or the action verbs of the question and just break them down for you as to what is expected in each of those. So the Nessa glossary is your literal best friend in every subject, not just English. For English, it's going to pay off the most in short answer, but for your other subjects, especially in stuff like science, memorize that Nessa glossary. But here, let's see how it sort of plays a part in English. So to some extent, it's also going to play a part in your essays, but essays generally, it doesn't play too much of an impact. It's here where it does. So the action verbs, the first one we're going to look at is something like an analyze. So what an analyze means in terms of what Nessa says analyze means, it means identify components and draw relationships. So we're looking at different aspects of a text and drawing the relationship between them. And so what this means is you're looking at the components, which are your techniques. So your techniques and your quotes are your components. And then from that, your relationship is the connection to the question and the rubric. And that is how you do the analyze question. It sounds pretty straightforward, like what you would do with any question, but what you need to be doing in an analyze question is looking at what does this mean to the implications of the human experience. So drawing out and relating the implications of these quotes and techniques. What is the quote suggesting and how does it deepen our understanding of the human experience? So in an analyze question, what I would say, because it is an analyze question, you need as many techniques as there are marks. As many techniques as there are marks, because this is a slightly higher yield question where you're looking very introspectively at the text. So say it's a 5 marker, I would say for a 5 marker analyze, include 5 techniques and 5 quotes. Just as sort of like a rule of thumb. However, if it's a 5 marker with an analyze question, you could also get away with something like 4. So my little rule was that whatever the mark is, generally, no matter what action verb it was, the bare minimum I would do is 1 technique less than the number of marks it is. So for any question, if it was a 4 marker, the bare minimum amount of techniques and quotes I would have is 3. However, I would always try and go for a little bit more, but bare minimum was always 1 technique / quote below the number of marks. So that should be a little rule of thumb you should have in your head for any sort of question that you approach. But an analyze question, I would say that try and go for a few more techniques, try and make it equal to the amount of marks you have, because they're really looking at your ability to analyze the text.